Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are watching, whatever time it is. Welcome to the Mrs. Best Reviews channel. I am Mrs. Best. We are here to go over our weekly review of 90 Day Fiancé. This is season 12, episode 12. It is titled So Help Me God. So Help Me God. Y'all, look at Debbie in the picture. Look at Debbie's face in the thumbnail. What kind of engagement ends in a picture that looks like this woman has been strangled and found out that every person that she loves is under the ground? Like, my God, I don't even know how I'm going to get into this. I don't know how I'm going to do this. I just don't take them seriously. And for those wondering, I sure did look at Debbie's engagement and take a variety of photos, snap them, and then put it into how I make my thumbnails, because I just cannot believe that this is the way that somebody looks when they get proposed to. It's supposed to be a happy thing. That's all I'm saying. It's supposed to be a happy thing. But for those wondering why I am off camera, I am having a flare-up of pain. Horrible pain. I do suffer from arthritis, unfortunately, along with the laundry list of other things. I'm a walking medical project. However, I cannot move my neck. I can't drive. I can't really leave the bed. I'm kind of dependent on my husband. So that is why I'm off camera today. But I'm still here because I was watching 90 Day in more pain from laughter. But listen, I'd rather be happily laughing than at work dealing with these people. And I also took a little mental health break, you guys. So I will be back on camera tomorrow. But shout out to our replay gang and those who are here now. Welcome in, Thug Life. Let's get into it. We are going to greet our moderators. We have Shani, who is here, my 20 twin. Welcome in. James will be back to cover not 90 Day Fiancé. He wasn't really invested. He said he couldn't get into it, but he does do before the 90 days with me. So whenever that comes back, definitely we'll look into that. And I think I'm also going to ask James to cover 90 Day the other way with me, just because I know how he is. And that's something that'll probably interest him. But what's poppin', Shani? Happy Monday, my darling. Hello to American Born. I am happy to see you as well. Please like the video, hype the video, leave a super chat or a super thanks, share it, subscribe. All of those things help and matter. Again, I will be back on camera whenever I'm not injured no more, or whenever Kaiser delivered these medications, child. Jump in the live chat and let us know your thoughts. Please do what AV is saying. All opinions are welcome, even if different from ours. Yes, so help us. Just look at Debbie's face. That is not the face of somebody who is happy. It looked like she got engaged against her will. God help her. Kiwan JTV is here. Hello to Kiwan. I hope that you are having and have had a good day. You guys, please be on the lookout. Tonight, Kiwan JTV will be live on her channel to go over Heart and Hustle Houston. I will be in the chat supporting her, and I hope to see some of you guys in the chat so we can have fun in the chat. Tap into Kiwan JTV. The link to her channel is also in the description of this video, you guys. That was the dumbest thing I ever seen. Right, the ring had the tag on it because he swore he was going to return that ring. He swore he was going to return that ring. But I think he realized when she stormed out that chapel like that, like, uh-oh, if I don't marry this lady, I can't get into America. And he said, let me give it a ring, tag and all. What's poppin'? What's poppin' to our thuggin' cousin, Olivia? Welcome in, Olivia. I hope you had a really good weekend. I'm happy to see you back. Girl, I have it, Kiwan. It's not working. I don't know. And I could only smoke so much. I was trying to earlier because I was in pain. And then I woke up. I just woke up. I'm not even going to lie to you. I fell asleep like I was watching Traders. Y'all, I've been getting into Traders. I'm kind of considering covering like the older episodes. But I have been watching season 1 of Traders. I have Traders and I love it. But I fell asleep. Lord, I was smoking, found a comfortable position. Erica, I went to sleep. I know. And the problem, my doctors get annoyed because I refuse muscle relaxers. I refuse gabapentin. I refuse most ibuprofens because they give you heartburn and do other stuff. So they're like, well, what do you want to give us? Or what could we give you? And I'm just like, I know. Y'all, I told you I'm a walk-in medical mystery. I'm trying to tell you. But I tend to avoid like stronger medicines just because I'm scared I'm gonna end up like, you know, the streets of San Francisco. I don't want to end up that way. But yes, this is the link to Q1J TV's channel. Please tap in. The link to James's channel should also be in the description of this video. We will be live on James's channel at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is that will be 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll be live on his channel to go over the Housewives of Atlanta. Child, I'm embarrassed for Debbie. Debbie is too successful and too in shape to be going through this over a man that wants a man. Who bought the ring was my question. Was it production? Because he said he didn't have no money. He got something. He was working as a tourist. Oh, the edibles. Not y'all trying to get Mrs. Best lit. I might have to, because edibles are stronger. I might have to do that. I don't know why I don't be doing edibles and stuff like that. Probably because I'm still traumatized from back before things was legal here when I was 17 and I would eat a brownie. I probably still have trauma, y'all. And we talking about the dude that looks like he's choking that lady. Yes, Kiwan. That is the picture of him holding her after they got engaged or right before. It looks like she's being proposed to against her will. Justice for Debbie. But at this point, Debbie is too much. Gabapentin is my friend. Take a stomach pill. I know gabapentin works. I keep refusing a prescription, and my doctor's like, what can I do for you if you refuse all the medications? Holistic isn't always best, Amina. I'd be like, listen, lady, you need to calm down. What does my doctor say? She says, people who work in healthcare are my worst patients. Like, give me a break. The lady read me for filth. I'm trying to tell you, but that's okay. Shout out to Dr. Nath. We kind of not promote the use of happy meds on this channel. Listen, I'm in California. I'm what you call California sober. I do not drink. I do not do anything else. But when it comes to the Debbie's lettuce, I'm going to engage. And I'm probably going to outsmoke the biggest men, the biggest smoker that exists. Okay. It's just, I'm California sober. I've been rolling once since I was 12. I don't know what to tell y'all. Welcome back, Shanny. Welcome back, you guys. I'm happy to see y'all. Because I've been low-key bored. Just sitting around today, I've been bored. So let's get into them. Mito hasn't told her that he loves her either, but he want to marry her. He can't even say Debbie. He call her Dee Dee. How do you want to marry me and you can't even get my name right? Like, what we doing, Mito? Listen, Shani has become the family cook here for the Thugs of Mrs. Best Reviews. Okay, Shani, you think we're playing. You tell Tariq to be prepared for my loud self. I'm coming. I'm bringing Q1J TV. I'm bringing the creator of High Vibes, Candles and Fragrances, my good friend Courtney. I'm bringing James. I'm going to go find Dr. Jen and snatch her up. And we're coming. We coming. I want a plate. I want good chicken. And I know Shani can fry some good chicken. I just feel it. She said, not one day I'm going to partake. A bitch stay winning. A pleasant surprise and a pretty picture. I'm happy to see you. I'm glad you are doing okay. I hope that you have been thriving, healing and thriving, as Ashley Fohead would say. Love a bitch stay winning. She's one of our day ones on this channel, so she will always have a soft space in my heart. We'll always love a bitch stay winning. I'm always happy to see her. Mito just wants Debbie to pay for his acting and lessons and his English lessons. He don't want her. That man don't want nobody but himself. Y'all see how Mito look at himself in the mirror? He is enamored with himself, okay? Even when he's hugging her, he looked like he don't want to touch her. Look at it. It's the most awkward engagement. I love her name too, Kiwan, okay? When I say that is a creative way to get up in here with a name that works for you, and she says she's a bitch that's still winning, period. We are not mad at that. We are not mad at that. Take it. I got to run out to BJ's real quick, so I'm going to be listening. I'm not going to be able to connect. Oh, Lord. It's okay, Shanny. We'll be live on James's channel later and Kiwan's channel later. Just come on in. I don't know who loves themselves more, Kanye or Mito. Mito does give like a broke-ass Egyptian Kanye. That's the best. That is the best way to put it. Olivia, that's why Olivia, we love Olivia here. Lord, Now, y'all, we actually go start with Katie and Josh. Katie and Josh are embarrassing the Bay Area, California. I am sorry to anyone watching. I would like to let you know that most of the Melanin Redacted here in the San Francisco Bay Area are great. They do not move the way that Katie moves. They just don't. They're chill. I don't know what happened or what went wrong with Katie. Alameda's kind of close to Berkeley, but Berkeley's like a bunch of people who aren't really from here going to college and making a statement. I'm not sure why Katie is the way that she is, but not might all impossible. It is the same woman at the bottom, Shani. That these are different pictures of her proposal. Now, y'all may call me petty for taking pictures from my television and making it into a thumbnail, but I believe in utilizing technology for what it's worth. And I thought it was worth it to have that as part of the damn thumbnail. Okay, that was her face. That's her engagement. And Kiwan, she was on the ground. She was on the actual ground. Hot Mess Express. Now, as for Katie and Josh, not much happens with them, you guys. They are cake tasting with her parents. I do appreciate the fact that Katie and Josh are trying to have like some sort of an actual nuptial ceremony. I feel like half of these couples aren't going to make it. The ones that get married are doing so for alternative reasons. At least Katie and Josh are trying to have some type of traditional something. Now, they go out with their parents to do the cake tasting, and she tells Josh, "Oh, I'm getting all these calls because your clothing has finally arrived from England." I said, so this man has been in America this whole time? Because he's been in America for at least a month, and he hasn't had his clothing or his property. Like, that's all he has to his name. He's moved here. I said, leave it to the airline to lose the luggage. This is why I always pack a carry-on with like essentials and some clothes, because if you lose my luggage, I'm not going to be crying and I'm not coming home. I'm not wasting my trip at the airport or shopping. Okay, I'm going to have some extra stuff in this carry-on and figure it out as I go. But he's very calm for someone who doesn't have his property. But his property has come. Now, Katie is the one who got the phone call. He's like, what do you mean it's ready for pickup? I did not know they contacted you. And she's like, well, you know, I tried to text you when I was on my run, and I was like, I'll tell you when I see you, but you never followed up. So I just never said anything. Girl, the way I want to call Katie a name, why would he follow up with you about something he don't understand? You the one that told him, so you're the one that needs to follow up. And I would like to point out to everybody that the association that handles obsessive compulsive disorder, aka OCD, put out a statement shaming TLC and Katie for this depiction of OCD, because this is not what it looks like, and she is using this disease as an excuse to get away with bad behavior. And that's dangerous to people who really do struggle with OCD. It's not okay. And I'm looking at Katie and I'm like, you better not blame this mistake on that. And he feels like, dang, girl, you don't care about me. This is all the property I have in the world and you just didn't care. She's like, well, we're here, so we can't exactly go to Portland to get it. And then there's a window they gave. They're like, come get it between 8 a.m. and 12 p.m. today. And she's like, well, we can't get it because we're here. And he's like, well, when are we going to get it? What's the next step? What is the next step? And Katie finally tells him, like, okay, you could choose another window. But it's like, girl, why you put him through all of that? He was questioning her right in front of her parents because, girl, what's wrong with you? Who does people this way? Where is the sense? But her mama looks so disappointed in her. Katie's mom looks so disappointed in her child. You could tell that they really tried with her and she just came out the way she came out. But it just goes to show how selfish Katie is. Like, you want to kiss people. You don't have any regard for his property. You don't have any regard for his feelings. But at this point, I can't just attack Katie, y'all. I am also attacking Josh, because Katie ain't shit. That's clear. We know that Katie ain't shit. But why is it that Josh is willing to accept this behavior? People who sit in a situation that don't serve them, I don't feel bad for them. So I can't really feel bad for Josh. But the next day they have an Easter egg hunt. A bunch of grown adults are searching for Easter eggs in a small ass backyard. Listen, Alameda's beautiful, but a lot of the yards is small. Okay. And if God forbid we get an earthquake and a tsunami happens, Alameda's the first to go. But okay, to the Easter egg hunt. Now, Josh gets really competitive about this Easter egg hunt, which I thought was weird. And he was very excited to find the golden egg, which had $2 in it. I said, I know these people did not put $2 in an egg knowing there ain't no kids around. Who are we doing this for? Maybe they thought that $2 was so much more than the pound or the euro or whatever it is they use over there in Europe. But I didn't quite understand it. But they go to dinner. Katie's grandparents come in, and I hollered because when they were asking about the grandparents, they were like, Josh seems like a nice guy. I'm just surprised he could deal with Katie. She's annoying. I said, damn, your grandma can't stand you. Your dad can't stand you. Your grandpa can't stand you. Your mama can't stand you. Nobody in Katie's family still. Nobody, not a person in Katie's family has mentioned OCD. Everyone just kind of keeps alluding that she's like a bossy bitch. So that leads me to believe that Katie don't have OCD and that the National Association of Obsessive Compulsive Disorder, the people who put out the statements, they have a right to do so. But her family is Lutheran, which is a form of Christianity. They are strict conservative Lutheran, and Katie dropped on Josh that her family's religious, and if they have children and are married, that she wants them to convert and be Lutheran and raise their kid in the church. I said, how does Hope finna raise some kids in the church? This is why people like me don't go to church, because people like Katie will judge somebody like Josh for not wanting to be in church every Sunday, while this bitch, in the name of Jesus, is sitting in the local bar at Portland kissing as many women and men that she can find. Okay. And I don't have no problem with her kissing women and men. Hell, I've kissed women and men before. However, if you claim to be a strict, devout Lutheran, then you kissing women alone, not a good thing. But you kissing women and men while in a relationship with someone that you're engaged to marry, while you sitting up there with your mama, Katie, talking about Josh, well, you do have to believe in just Jesus Christ to get through the gates of heaven. Does your daughter? I know your daughter believes in Jesus Christ, but I'm just saying, does she go get in the gates of heaven, spreading around her lip juice and tonguing people down, basically essaying people because half of the people she kissed don't even want to be kissed? Is the double standard there, or could it be any louder? Like, I don't understand Katie and her parents. I think it's a joke to come on TV with lipstick that's always smudged because you probably sucking and kissing on every Tom, Dick, Joe, and Harry that you could find, Katie, but you want to come down on Josh about religion. This is why people are turned off to religion, because we know that the Bible teaches you not to judge. We know that the Quran teaches you not to judge. We know that the Torah teaches you not to judge. Yet what do religious people do? They judge. They judge. I just don't understand it. And for it to be coming from Katie, at least if it was someone who took their religion seriously, you could kind of understand where she was coming from. But the fact that she does not live her life in the way that a devout Lutheran would, nah. Get off our screen, Slam Pig, as AB said. SP, in the words of Shani. Shani gave us that nickname for Katie. Get off our screens, please. But let's get into these comments. Shani said, boys can be assholes sometimes. Did I not just ask my son where he going with my dog? And he going to tell me not far. Not far where, though? Tariq, where? And she doesn't care either. Waiting to tell him until the last day. Katie is trying to get Josh to run away. I am convinced, but I don't think Josh is running away. I think she thought she'd be able to get out of this marriage easier. And it's not happening. Shani said, call her a Slam Pig. It's okay. All right. I'm glad they came out and said something, the OCD Institute. I'm glad as well. It's dangerous. And, you know, my degree and background is in mental health. That is my passion. I enjoy supporting people through their mental health struggles. But I think it's insulting to the people who go through OCD to have someone like Katie on this show. Now, yes, OCD can impact you in some of the ways that Katie is showing, but I just think she's doing a really bad job. Also, it's manageable. It's extremely manageable. A lot of people, when they get the right type of therapy and find the correct regimen and titrate on or off the correct medications, OCD, you would never know they have it. But then there's some people that struggle more. I think Katie's just full of shit, if I'm being honest. Sorry, YouTube. I'm doing my best to stay monetized. She said it's not OCD. It's an STD. Let them know, Shani. Not several. Y'all ain't right. Katie is doing everything to push that man away. She sure is. Olivia says she acts like a psychopath with no empathy at all. Psychopaths lack empathy. They're actually really fascinating to study. But they, I can't say the term on YouTube because I want to stay monetized. But in New Orleans, I went to the Museum of, I believe I could say this, the Museum of Death. And it was interesting because they had like a section on people that unalive others. And Katie does have a lot in common with the characteristic traits of those who would do that. So you are correct, girl. You are correct. Josh gets what he gets. At this point, we 12 weeks in, and I'm just like, Josh, she's shown you in every way it's problematic. And he irritated me because obviously she wins him over with, sex, because he was like, me and Katie had a bit of an argument, but, we had a great shag last night. I was like, not the shag fixed it all. Absolutely not. And he's so reassuring and kind of Katie. She just does not deserve this man. Josh wants a political career in the US and to move his career here. He ain't slick. You think he wants political career? See, I don't know much about Josh off of the show. 90 Day Fiancé is one of the few reality shows where I don't really keep up with the stars. I more so follow like the YouTubers and the content creators on social media that keep up with them. So I don't know much about him. I know one of my good friends, John, shout out to John. He's been a good friend of mine for over 12 years. But one of my good friends, John, he moved from San Francisco to Portland, Oregon, where Katie and Josh are. He moved there over 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago, he moved there. But he sent me pictures recently. He's like, hey, Shadi. That's what he calls me. I'm a very small person in person. He's like, hey, Shadi, did you see one of these shows you cover? This is the guy, right? He sent me a picture of Josh. So Josh be all over Portland, Oregon. I don't know what he's doing, but people have been seeing him and taking photos. I want to ask Josh if Katie was British, would he still be with her? Ooh, Olivia. Because, the Brits have high standards for behavior, and I really don't think he would deal with this. I really don't think he would. $2 damn. What a joke. They could have at least gave a $2 bill. Like, I know that's like around Chinese New Year's. You give $2 bills or money as part of like the beliefs and stuff. But I know that's a whole different thing. But like they could have at least put a $2 bill in there or something. They could have. They just could have. I'm a weird person. Every time I get a $2 bill, and I actually got quite a few $2 bills when I was in Mexico. And for whatever reason, there's this liquor store in Oakland that has $2 bills. He says some old lady pays with them, but I be collecting them. So I have to have a bunch of $2 bills in the safe that I intend to like frame. And then I always keep a little money from every country I visit. I want to build like a collage and frame it. I'm weird, but you never know. I might need the cash. Nobody likes Slam Pig. Nobody. I would want to raise kids the exact opposite to how she was raised. Olivia, girl, say it louder. I don't want my kids to end up like Katie. Absolutely not. Yeah, asking her mom what will happen to Josh, so I will be in heaven. Where will Josh be? Is just nasty work. That was crazy. That was absolutely. And the craziest part, AB, was the concern that Katie's mom had in her face. Like you could tell her mom doesn't know what her daughter is capable of. If I were Josh, I would have asked those old farts if making out with several people while in a relationship is Lutheran, or is that OCD, foolish people? Pissed me off today. Girl, I know. She may have something, but she's also an alcoholic and a nasty person, period. Olivia, you better clock it. Because Katie does not drink safely. A person that gets drunk and wakes up the next day and is like, oh, I can't remember. Oh my God, what did I do? That's a person that's an alcoholic because you went and did it again instead of lessening the action. Like, please. Yes, use the word unalive. Thank you, AB. Thank you. I am trying. I just saw where Katie is banned in the UK. She's banned in the UK. Oh my God. This heifer, again, on behalf of the San Francisco Bay Area, we do not claim this woman. Her family is barely claiming her. Listen, there are a lot of great people here, but even the worst of the worst don't act like Katie out here. I don't know what that's about. Not her breath smells like ejaculation, liquor, and vomit. And in that order. Shout out to Mama D. We love you on this channel, Mama D, and we forever will. We are going to get into the next couple, you guys, which is going to be Mido and Debbie, the people in our thumbnail. Mido and Debbie get on my everlasting nerve. I don't understand how you can make it to the beautiful age of 63 and be this dense. Listen, one of the beautiful things I look forward to in aging is wisdom. I believe that the older we become, the more wisdom we gain. You know, I don't think it's a bad thing to age. However, this is the dumbest person over 55 I've seen. People like Debbie make AARP needed. Okay. I don't understand what she's doing. Now, Mito is a problem. The last time we saw them, she was at this chapel because they are weeks away from having to get married. They have about 3 weeks. Mito has not said, I love you to Debbie. Mito and Debbie have done nothing for the entire 90 days that he has been there except argue. And it's the audacity of Mito to argue with her, make her think that he's going to go back home, not show her any affection. And the only time he shows excitement or a care for anything having to do with anything or anyone outside of himself is if he could get his acting paid for, or probably if he needs some food or something from Debbie, because Debbie's in New Orleans. I'm sure she can cook. Like, I just don't understand the dynamic with Debbie and Mito. I don't see it. And I don't understand how someone could sit in a relationship that seems loveless, affectionateless. Like, she's not getting anything out of it. Like, nothing. Now, she's having her meltdown outside, and Debbie quite literally went to the bush to weep because Mito told her he wants to go home and he don't want to be with her. And he comes out because he's like, wait, she's really outside and upset. And he goofily gets down on his knees while she's turned around. He's like, Didi, please turn around, Didi. Come on, honey. And she's like, no, Mito, I'm not turning around. I'm like, oh my God. That's an ugly cry. I said, oh, I was taught to respect my elders, but lady, get up. Get your ass up off the ground, Debbie. Why was this lady in her pretty long hair crying on the ground over a man that is screaming, in the words of James from Watch Your Mouth Reviews, that man is running from homosexuality. And I know what I'm looking at. I had to quote my friend. Debbie, get up. Get up. I don't understand what the hell she was doing on the ground, crying over this fool, crying over him. He looks at himself in the mirror. He ain't even tried to get a job. Okay, he is using you, Debbie, Deborah, whatever the name is. Like, I can't understand why Debbie is doing this to herself. I just can't. Like, is it really that bad as women to be single? Is it really that fucking bad? Oh, now I'm cursing. I'm not supposed to do that as much. Like, it just stresses me out. Like, to be this big age and so concerned. I'm going to tell y'all, as someone who is married, I do love my husband, but I would not just be married to anybody, okay? It is not worth all of that. It's a wonderful thing. The love is the flex, not the piece of paper. And Debbie just gives me that she wants that piece of paper so bad because this man don't do a damn thing for her. Not a damn thing. It's ridiculous. But Mito puts the engagement ring on the ground in New Orleans, Louisiana. If anybody been there, my whole family is there. I have a lot of friends there. I'm going to just say this. New Orleans is not the place that you just want to set something expensive on the ground. There are a lot of places throughout the country that you wouldn't want to do that. New Orleans, the hell, here in the Bay, like, you don't just want to leave expensive things on the ground. Anybody could walk by and get it. But he puts it on the ground, and that's the picture where Kiwan thought he was choking Debbie, but he's actually hugging her to get her to turn around. She calms down a little bit. She turns around and sees the ring. He gets down on the ground like a fool. And I just thought Mito is diabolical. Because y'all remember he did this to her when he came to the States. He made her think that he wasn't going to show up and just stopped responding and ghosted her. And she was in the Louis Armstrong Airport in tears and absolute shambles. Now he got her outside of a chapel looking like she crying as if her daughter just passed away or something. What is this? This is so toxic. And then Mito took it to hell. To the basement of hell, as Kiwan JTV would say. Mito is diabolical. When he put that ring on Debbie, he said to her, oh, I didn't get the ring size, but that's okay. You can just lose weight. Bitch, what? So now you call my fingers fat? And Debbie is thin. If she loses weight, she's going to need a nursing home. What the heck? I just cannot, y'all. Let me go through the comments. I cannot with Debbie and Mito. I just cannot. I just can't take them seriously. And I'm trying to do better because I'm learning you never know who's watching on YouTube. And I'm trying not to read these people for filth. But this is stupid. This is actual stupidity on the TLC network. Okay. A channel that began for learning and for children has become this. Like, I just cannot. American Boy says she didn't follow the rules over there, so she can't go back. Damn, Katie. I guess Katie can't go to London. Good. Maybe that'll keep her with her man. Midol is more appropriate for him. It is, but Midol relieves pain. Midol gives us a headache. He's the period cramp that we need the Midol for. I feel sorry for Debbie's daughter. I do too. I feel like she's living with her mom to like go to school or something. I can't remember what she explained, but I do feel bad for her because can you imagine like watching your mom get treated like dirt and then you come out and see that the person doing it is just staring at themselves in the mirror? Like, absolutely not. Olivia said, Mido got a good deal with Debbie. Not going to lie. She will fund his career, feed him, house him, and he doesn't even have to put out. Like, the way I just laughed. She said he don't even got to put out. Yeah, Debbie's lonely. She's really lonely, and I get the feeling her daughter is involved with what she's involved with. This is a sad thing because loneliness will make people do a lot. And I think a lot of people realized how lonely they were in life as it relates to partners during COVID. I just feel for Debbie because you could tell she's a nice lady, but this is just not a good situation. And she can't convince anybody. Oh, look, AB said he don't do no housework either, okay? If Mido would have left, Debbie would have ended up in the hospital for real. She looked like she was going to cry herself into being upset. Like, you can make yourself sick from crying. Like, and Debbie definitely give that. I've been there and would never be on the ground. We've all experienced heartbreak, like one time or another. But to be on the ground is like, girl, get up. And he thinks it's funny. That's what pisses me off. She needs to stop reacting. That's the only way. He loves getting a reaction out of her. He thinks he's a star in a movie and she's the audience. Clock it, Olivia. That's exactly what is happening. That's exactly what's happening. Debbie is going to be all over him after the wedding and he better get ready. Like, Debbie is going to remove that makeshift wall. Okay, Debbie's going to say we are sleeping together next to each other. She might even lay in the bed next to him with no panties. You never know. You never know. Because I saw what Debbie did. Debbie's not all the way dumb. She said, oh, you want your English classes and your acting classes? You better marry me. I'm not paying for nothing until after the wedding. So Debbie's not entirely stupid. And that's why I look at her like, girl, get up. Get up. Irks my soul. He's going to be gone to LA after the wedding. Right. He going to be in LA outside hoping somebody hire him. Hot Mess Express. Now, Mallory and Rashid, I would like to say to the people who were here last week, I love you guys. And, you know, as the song in Dreamgirls, we are a family like a giant tree. I love y'all. But let me tell you, Thuggin' Cousins, something. I don't want to hear no more about Mido and what his tongue and microphones are doing on TikTok. The way that grossed me out, or not Mido, Rashid and TikTok. I don't want to hear it no more. Now, Mallory is wedding dress shopping. She looked beautiful in all of her wedding dresses, but Mallory tells her friends that she's concerned about the wedding and there's some stuff they got to talk about before they get to the wedding. And that big subject is children. Earlier in the season, when we were like first meeting everybody, Mallory explained that she's not somebody that wants kids. She says that she would be okay not having them. This episode, she kind of dug deeper and explained that when her parents divorced, she was 10 years old and her parents both remarried and made new families. And her and her sister, the kids that her parents had together, were kind of just forgotten about. I think that's sad. She said things really went bad with her mother, but as it relates to her father, I guess her father is still around, healthy and present. He's just not present in Mallory's life. When Mallory had her car accident and almost lost her life, she says her dad did not even come to call or see her in the hospital once, which is crazy, which is absolutely crazy. For those who don't know, my father went through a lot in my childhood, but I'm a daddy's girl through and through. I'm very close with my dad. My dad has always been the consistent parent for me. But that's even through my dad going to jail and doing stints in San Quentin and things like that. Okay. But I say nothing would stop that man from coming through and being there. Nothing would stop him. So I do feel for Mallory that she had to go through that. You can tell she's a sweet soul. I don't know if y'all noticed, like, I don't come down too hard on Mallory. She just seems like a sweet, hardworking country girl from Alabama that's just trying to do the best that she can, that got dealt not the best, you know, cards in life. And I actually respect her for, instead of doing what a lot of people do when they experience parental trauma, which is make life bad for other people. Like, Mallory just takes it on the chin. She's responsible. I respect her like that. And it looks like AB was a daddy's girl as well. Yeah, if you were a daddy's girl, you understand, like, you feel for people, because to not have that is unfortunate. Dads really do matter, y'all. They really do. But Mallory, it sounds like, doesn't want to have kids because she's afraid that she will mess up her children or cause them pain in the way her parents caused her pain. In my opinion, those are usually the people who make the best parents, because they're so aware and conscious of that. But we have to respect her decisions, her body, her choice. And nothing's wrong with taking her time. Nothing's wrong with taking her time. But she decides to talk to Rosh about this. And this is a big deal because Rosh is Muslim, Turkish, and has made it very clear he wants to have children. He's unaware of this and is ready to start making babies instantly. And she makes him a very nasty chai tea, according to him. That's why I say Rosh shit. You didn't have to call her tea nasty. Just be happy for the gesture. Or you make the tea. Since she paying the mortgage, provided the house, and letting you throw these temper tantrums all up and through Alabama, you make the tea. Sick of Rosh. But, he does get upset. And I did agree with Rosh. She told him too late that she doesn't want kids. You need to let people know if you're a person that does not want kids or doesn't think you're going to ever, be interested in kids. You need to let your partner know early on, because that can be a deal breaker and you don't want to waste other people's time. However, I found it interesting that Ross was like, I wouldn't have come to this country if I knew that. Shouldn't your love for her be enough? That's my other point. But he walked away, and it looks like we'll get more from them next week. But she doesn't want kids. I'm not mad at her for it. Not mad at her for it. She said she barely was paying the bills for her and Raj. How's she gonna pay them if a baby come? This is what more people need to do, honestly. Everybody's so quick to have a kid. More people need to wait so they can give their kids the life they need, or at least make sure they're in the emotional space that they should be. So good for Mallory. Olivia says she has a good heart and she's trying her best as well. Exactly. She seems sweet. She seems really sweet. I like Mallory a lot. Yes, she is, and a hard working 2 jobs to pay for his sorry behind. Exactly. I feel like Rosh won't even work if he got his papers. No, I don't think he will. I think he's going to keep making and building little tables and stuff and think that that's enough to pay the bills. That'd be like if I quit my day job for the couple $100 I get on YouTube. Like, no. And she paid for all those tools he wanted in his workshop, and the bidet. I hope we find out at the tell-all why he has gone back to Turkey. I'm okay. The reunion for 90 Day, y'all, is called the tell-all. My apologies. But the reunion, I am looking forward to it. I have a lot of questions for this cast. I'm wondering if Sean is going to host it again, or if they're going to do Ross. Because I know that last season they let Ross do it and finally listen to the fans. I guess people wanted a different host, but I was okay with Sean, the original host that was there. I didn't mind her. These women got to know, do not marry Vacation D and bring it home. Ever. He's back in. Oh, he's still doing it. God help us. He'll keep doing sexual ASMR on TikTok. Hot Mess Express. But I am ready for the tell-all, AB. I am. It's been a long 12 weeks. It's time for, let's wrap it up. 90 Day. Let's wrap it the heck up. Please do. Let's wrap it up. It looks like Olivia's talking to AB and says that she has heard that they got married and that they are going through a divorce right now. They probably did get married. They probably are going through a divorce. I have a feeling because of her visa that it may protect her funds, but I'm not quite sure, because we have to think about Portia and Simon and the disaster that was. So I don't know what they do with their divorce. If you are still watching, shout out to you. I appreciate the replay gang, and I appreciate those who are still here watching. 1,000 appreciations, y'all. And I thank you for being here. We are going to get into Ashia and Maxwell. Ciao. So Ashia and Maxwell are a lot. She flew her family out to Nigeria because her and Maxwell plan on getting married. The reason they're getting married is because they were declined the opportunity and they were not approved for the K1 visa, which is the visa that the show 90 Day Fiancé comes from, because it gives you 90 days to get married or you have to leave the country. Now, they were declined for that because they thought it might be a scam, because Ashia hooked up her best friend and Maxwell hooked up his best friend. They hooked up their best friends with each other. Now, they're going to do the spousal visa, which means they get married and they have to start the visa process over again, but they're less likely to get declined. Less likely is not guaranteed, but I digress. So she flew her family out there, and instead of telling her family the truth about what is going on, she tells them to just fly out there, which is crazy. And we meet her sisters. I said, Ashia, you must be the baby of the family, because your sisters look like they could be your mom. No shade. They do. Her mama looks really good. So I don't know how they did this having kids stuff, but I was looking at the sisters like, how old is everybody? What is going on, y'all? But the sisters were like, we're used to Ashia planning vacations at the last minute. She's hella bossy. You traveled all the way to Nigeria from America. I mean, you traveled to a whole different continent at the last minute. I don't know how they do that. I wouldn't be able to do that. I would end up losing my job or something more. Like, I'm not quite understanding why they were willing to do that. That was extremely odd. Yeah, they was old. They were. They looked like they could have been her mother. Maybe Ashia was like a baby her mom had later in life, like a rainbow baby or something. I don't know. But my goodness, she was probably a change of life baby. Yep, that's what it's giving. Because I was like, oh, Lord. And I agree with AB. I will whoop my sister behind if you tell me at the last minute you get married to a scammer and then you fly me all the way to Nigeria to tell me, and I didn't even have the right explanation of why I'm here. That's sneaky. And you on here speaking in tongues, talking about how great of a Christian you are. Girl, do Christians lie to their siblings about their reason for a trip and then keep a secret that they're going to get married? Like, come on. The sisters look 50 to 60 years old. I get we all age, but damn, they look like her aunties. They do. No, they literally do, Olivia. And mind you, if they're 50 to 60-year-old, they look great for that age. But if they're supposed to be close to Ashia in age, like in their 30s and 40s, what happened? What happened? Olivia says, I don't think Maxwell is scamming, but since he is definitely determined to get to the U.S. by any means possible. I don't think he's scamming either. I don't either. Shani said her godbrother, Rod, is a hoot. Rod is funny. Like, on one end, I want to laugh at Rod, but then on the other end, I'm like, Rod, you are doing too much. Oop. I'm going to give it the good old knee. Oop. Because my goodness, not they look as old as Maxwell's mama. Y'all are funny. Now, Rod plans to talk to Maxwell, and the families come together to meet each other, Maxwell's family and Ashia's family, at a beautiful beach. And Ashia introduces everyone and immediately says, this is my fiance Maxwell, and we're going to be getting married in a few days. Girl, why is that how you introduce yourself and them? Like, why is that what you're doing? I can't understand it. And her sister asks a smart question, because they give the reason for the wedding. And her sister asked her, well, Ashia, what will you do if you get married and do all of this, and then they deny your spousal visa as well? And she said, well, they're less likely to deny it, so I doubt they'll deny us again. Ashia, if they thought he was scamming before, why would they suddenly think y'all not scamming? And is his best friend and your best friend also trying to come over to this country? Because that could be why they're not trusting it also. Maybe the best friends they hooked up together have some sort of scam going on, and it's impacting them. Whatever the heck is going on, her sister asked a smart question, because Ashia is making it seem like she just got control of the government. And I'm like, girl, you cannot take control of any of this. Like, you would think as a Christian, you'd be like, it's in the Lord's hands. but you don't even accept the no, even if God put that in your face. Now, Rod asks Maxwell what industry he intends to get into once he comes to the US. And Rod kind of questions him about what he plans to do to make sure he ain't trying to use Ashia. And Rod explains that he's going to be reselling cars. And Ashia interrupts and it's like his daddy's an electrician, so he could do that. And Rod is like, can you let your husband answer questions for himself? Which is a sign she don't know how to submit. And that's probably why she's alone, because she's so busy pretending to be a Christian that she's not taking what's actually in the Bible and being the makings of a wife. Because a wife that's in the Bible, the biblical version, don't do what Ashia is doing. So she's doing way too much. And I am glad that Rod was asking questions about Maxwell, because that's a valid question. What will you do once you're over here? Now, Maxwell explained, because he noticed that Rod was questioning his work ethic, and Maxwell explained, you do realize Nigerians work harder than Americans. And Rod's like, excuse me? Which he honestly is true. Americans think we work hard, and we are not the hardest workers and one of the laziest countries, as quiet as it's kept. And if people don't like it, oh well. It's the truth. It's the absolute truth. And Maxwell kind of explained the point. The job that they do, if they have the same warehouse job in Nigeria, Maxwell said, I'm doing it with my hands. I'm not doing it with machines and help and tools. But Americans, y'all think because you're doing a job and using machines and tools and all of that, that is that. Now, this could also be a negative opinion because a lot of Africans feel a way about Black Americans. However, in this case, Rod, if you insult this man, he has a right to defend himself. But I'm also not mad at Rod for asking questions. I just felt like he should have asked them to Maxwell, not just his family. Because his sister stepped in when he asked, because Rod mentioned the scamming. And Maxwell's sister stepped in and was like, scammers come from here, but not in my family. And then she turned it around on them and they said, you worried about scammers, but can your sister submit? Will she be able to keep a man? I said, ooh, Lord help us. But I did feel like Maxwell's family was rude. I definitely feel like they were rude. Or not Maxwell's family, but Ashia's family was a little rude. Not the sisters, more so Rod. But Ashia, I can't fault them for that because you're not telling nobody nothing. And then you expect them to just behave. Like, that's severely unrealistic. Like, that don't make no type of sense. Makes zero sense. So we'll see what happens with them. But again, this couple does not need to be on 90 Day Fiancé. They should be on before the 90 days. They could have went on there instead of giving us Elise and Josh. Like, they should not be here at this time. Olivia said, Rod was so ignorant, though, talking about robocalls. Right. That's actually wrong country, Rod. Most of my robocalls that I get as an American, no shade, are coming from India. They are coming from India and sometimes like South American countries. But most of the time it's coming from India, not an African person that's calling me. So I don't understand what Rod was saying. Maybe in Georgia is different. AB said, Rod is mad and just being protective. That's true. But everybody's angry because of Ashia. Like, give people more time. Side note, I can't stand Ashia's confessionals with the eyes bugging and acting like she's so clever. She ain't clever enough to glue her wig down, came on TV looking crazy. I think there is more to the story on why Maxwell got denied. Oh, AB, of course. And I think Ashia is lying in the name of Jesus so that we don't find out. I'm positive because the fact that Maxwell's country doesn't want to let him in America and it was not America that denied him tells me that there's something shifty going on. Tells me there's something hella shifty going on. Ashia is a pharmacist and a restaurant co-owner. She should have no problem finding a man, but you can tell she's a bit off. She is the problem. I said this a couple weeks ago in my review, Olivia. I think Ashia is the problem because obviously they're doing well. Obviously she's not stupid. She is the problem because she should be able to find a man. But he won't be able to work right away when he gets there. So there's that. Oh, I'm sure she gonna support him. AB, you can see it in her face and mannerisms. She may be book smart, but she seems off, like weird. No man will put up with her. I agree. Ashia's family has no respect. They were so rude. I did not like it. It's all that talking in tongues she does. If she thinking she talking to God, she might be conjuring up the devil because that's not actual tongues. Nobody could tell me that. They act like they look down on Africans, yet the African is the only one who would even entertain their bug-eyed sister. Say it louder, Olivia. I don't like that. Like, I just don't like that. Most of them are from Thailand and India as well. Exactly. I just don't like that everyone's putting the stigma of scams solely on Africa. Yes, it happens, but there are scammers here in America. Look at Jen fucking Shaw. That's somebody who was hiring Americans to scam Americans. So it's like, let's not just attack our African cousins over there. Let's just not. Let's just not. But that's all that happened with Ashia. Something wrong with her. In the words of Drew Sidora, Ashia is delusional. Like, severely fucking delusional. And that's all there is to it. Now, we are going to get into Marissa and Edward next, y'all. Marissa and Edward are on my nerves. I'm not even going to go over them in entirety. And I apologize to those who may be fans of them. Those of you who love Marissa and Edward, hit me up in the comments. I am happy to talk about it in the comments. But I'm going to give a very short synopsis on this review because I'm tired of them. Now, Marissa's wedding dress shopping was not moved by her in that dress at all. And her friends show concern about her making the right decision, which her friends were right to do. The reason they were right to show concern is because all Marissa has talked about for 12 fucking weeks is she wonders if she's making the right decision. She doesn't connect to Edward intellectually. They only have sex when they're beefing or making up with something. Like, I don't understand what this is all about. Now, she doesn't know she wants to marry him. She hasn't told him. And her friend gave the best advice that anyone could give. If you're not 100% sure, don't marry him. And of course, people not married don't understand shit and think that they do. And of course, the lady wasn't saying, Marissa, that you have to be like, just sure, like, for sure this is who you'll be with forever. Nobody knows that. But you got to love the person enough to take that risk. Okay? That's what she meant. But okay, Marissa. Now, Edward comes to New York City to chat because she and him have not been talking. She claims she needed space and all of these things. And he explains that nothing is the same. And he feels like he's being treated terribly. And Marissa admits that she feels anxious and unsure about the relationship. But in my opinion, she's the reason that everything is changing. She's making the relationship difficult. Before Edward could even mess up in the first week of him being there, she was tripping. I think Marissa's in her own way. In real time, I believe Marissa and Edward are still together. As AB is saying here in the comments, I'm always sending stuff to AB, and AB's always sending stuff to me online, which I appreciate. Edward found a job. He worked in the Dominican Republic. Why wouldn't he work in America? Now, I hope that the job he found is good enough for Marissa, but I mean, who's to say? Because she just seems like nothing she does, like Edward says, even when he gives her what she wants, she's still unhappy. Bitch is just miserable. And I like Marissa as a person. I just feel like she needs to relax and stop crashing out on this man. Listen, you're rich, you have your money. Who gives a fuck how anybody looks down on you? At the end of the day, the people in your house paying your bills, sleeping with you, and spending time with you are not your rich neighbors, but Edward. So stop worrying about everybody else, Marissa. Marissa is a classic racist who fetishes Edward, but does not respect him or see him as a person. Probably never will. End of story. Ooh. See, I be trying not to say things like this, but I agree with it. I try to avoid like race and politics on my channel, but I agree with this. Listen, just because I avoid it, y'all don't have to, okay? If the comments say it, I can't get in no trouble. But she is correct. Olivia is absolutely correct. Marissa does behave like a lot of the rich white people out here in the Bay. We have a very big population of billionaires. A lot of the neighborhoods, like in Palo Alto, where there's a lot of billionaires, Atherton, Tiburon, you got the jungle over in Marin City, the projects sharing a wall in the neighborhood with them. You got EPA. You got a lot of poverty near these rich neighborhoods, and these people know this, and then they act classist when they have to deal with them out in public, or if you're in Safeway, you see them talking to people crazy. Marissa does give that. She does. And I think that she got caught on television, and I hope she uses it to reflect. But at the same time, if Edward chooses to deal with her, that's his choice. That dress was awful. It must have been on clearance. No shade. Unless Marissa's hair is up, she's hard on the eyes a little bit. So I just feel like any dress would have been on her, but I did not care for the dress she chose in particular. I just did not. The neck thing threw me off. Like, why does your wedding dress have a choker? We sending the wrong message, Marissa, girl. We sent it the wrong message. Olivia says she looked like someone put a wedding dress on one of those skeletons that they keep in the primary science class. My God. Olivia, you not going to say no shade after that. You meant shade. You meant shade, girl, but it's okay. I love you for it. You meant all the shade in the world, and that's okay. That's why we love. This is why we love our subscribers. This is exactly why. Y'all be cracking me up. But that's all that happened with the people. If y'all want more, y'all listen, hit me up in the comments. Okay. I just can't. I feel like Marissa has been complaining about the same shit for 12 weeks, and I can only say so much about it, y'all. I can only say so much. The last people we're going to discuss is Thomas and Paola. I don't know why. Some of the people on this cast, Paola, Mallory, honestly, Maxwell and his family, I have a soft spot for them. I don't know why. Paola seems like she's genuinely sweet. Like she just seems like she's genuinely a kind person, which I love for her. But she's talking to Thomas's stepmom, Rennie, while they are in North Carolina on the farm. There's some beef from the divorce that happened between Thomas's dad and his birth mom. His birth mom wasn't in his life. His dad got custody. His dad met his stepmom while Thomas was very small. So his stepmom raised them and the mom is new back in his life. Now, I get why they would be bothered, but I think the stepmom and dad need to get over their fucking selves and grow up. And I'm going to explain why. Now, Paola sees that Rennie is upset at a photo that she took when she met Thomas's mom. And in my opinion, whether you raise a child or not, that's their mother. They have a right to talk to them. Get over yourself. If I go and adopt a baby and I do a closed adoption, and then that baby 30 years later, when they're 32 years old, says, I want to go find my biological mother, and they locate their bio mom, and their bio mom is willing to have a relationship with them, I cannot get mad at that, even though I'm just the adopted parent. Be there for them, because adoptive parent is just the legality of paperwork. Kids view their actual mothers and fathers as the one who participates in raising them. So, Rennie, please stop being insecure and competing with this woman that your man did not want. And I get the emotions behind it, but to get mad at Paola and mistreat her just because she, as the person marrying into the family, is trying to get along with everyone is fucking crazy. And for them to get upset with Thomas for wanting to invite his mother to his wedding is crazy. She has a right to right her wrongs. And I don't understand why they would not want that. If you love Thomas, wouldn't you want him to make peace with his mom and get that opportunity to have a good adult relationship with her? Don't write off their personal feelings on your son and his big day, because they're taken away from Thomas. And it's childish and it makes no sense. It makes zero sense. But Powell apologizes to Rennie and they make peace. Thomas apologized to his dad and told him he's the best dad and made peace. And they go back to LA. To me, this is just a Band-Aid. They don't know if they're the dad and the stepmom are going to come to their wedding, but I just feel like his parents are throwing a big ass fit, and it pisses me off. And it did trigger me a little bit because I've never really cared for a wedding, but I was going to have a wedding, but did not, because my mama, it's her birthday, by the way, today. So I guess happy birthday to my mama. But my mama did not want to be around my dad at all for my wedding. At all, because my dad had been recently married. My dad got married a year before I got married, and she didn't want to deal with the new wife and all of this other crazy, stupid stuff. So I said, F it, and me and my husband ended up eloping. Like, I don't think parents realize, I get that you have your beef, but it's not about you. It's about the big day, and you don't even have to be a parent. If it's not your wedding, all you got to do is sit there and eat the free food and shut the fuck up. It's not hard. It's not hard. They act like Thomas is asking them to, like, have a relationship with the woman, and he's not asking that at all. So I feel like they could let it go, but I am glad they made peace. But honestly, Rennie, you are lucky Paola is nice the way you is, because if you was my mother-in-law, I would have been like, oh, well, bitch, I'm still sitting on your son. Get over it. Ain't nobody got time. Nobody has time. Olivia says Thomas and Paola should have never been cast. They are too boring. You know what it is, Olivia? Thomas and Paola give like season 1 90 Day Fiancé. They are too boring for what the show has become. I don't even look for couples to last anymore on 90 Day, because it seems like they're casting the most problematic people. aside from Thomas's little bitch fits, him and Paola, I think, will be okay. Mostly because of her. All the Americans this season are a red flag. I have to say that again, though. I have to. Because, like, Thomas is the red flag with Paola. Ashia is a bigger red flag than Maxwell. Marissa's a bigger problem than Edward could ever be. Like, Mallory is okay. With the exception of Mallory, all the Americans are a damn red flag this season, which is funny. Which is funny. Trump's over here. We're the greatest country in the world. I don't want to let anybody in. Meanwhile, you watch 90 Day Fiancé and it shows that Americans are fucking menaces. My God. But what can we do? What can we do? Paola, or whatever her name is, needs to go back to Brazil. I had said this, American Born. So, y'all, I will be covering 90 Day the other way whenever it comes back. If it comes back, I would have loved to see Thomas go to Brazil. Because Paola had her own business, her own home, family. All Thomas has is a bunch of family drama and bullshit and the congestion that is Los Angeles. That is why a lot of Californians who are from here, born and raised, not just moving here and here for a long time, like those of us born and raised in California, outside of LA, we always laugh because they got horrible air quality and congestion. I'm like, make it make sense. Make it make sense. Olivia says they are just digging for drama and there's nothing good for them, but I guess. Yeah, it's like I wish them the best, but I don't think that they fit in with the dynamic for 90 Day Fiancé. They just don't. The dad needs to realize he chose to have a kid with his mom. So, yeah, it didn't work out, but that's his decision. Sorry, marriage and kids are decisions for life. Exactly. That's why people need to be careful who they have a kid with, because you have to deal with that person for life. And it's not fair for you to then put on the kid your disdain for their parent. You didn't have that disdain when you was bending it over or smacking them cheeks. So don't have it now that the baby is here. Don't do that. And Thomas and his vocal fry mommy issues, cry ass, please. Yeah, Thomas is rude. He's spoiled. And honestly, the way he is, how he's so quick to disrespect Paola's property, but not like wanting to deal with anything, throws a fit anytime he has to deal with something. He's problematic. But y'all, that is it for this review of 90 Day Fiancé. That is it for this review of 90 Day Fiancé, beautiful people. I do appreciate you for watching. I will be back on camera next week. Kaiser has sent me medication, but I am saying publicly on this YouTube forum, I do not trust Kaiser Permanente. So if anything happens to me, y'all call Kaiser. But I should be feeling better next week. We will be live again on my channel tomorrow to go over 90 Day The Last Resort. I will also be getting out my review for The Shy and Raising Canaan. I'm really behind. But we will be on James's channel in an hour. And after we are done with James's channel, we will be on Kiwan J TV's channel. So tap in. I will be in the comments supporting both of them. Love and light to all of you. A big thank you to AB as well as Shani for moderating. A big thank you to our thugging cousin Olivia for being here, as well as a bitch stay winning for popping in and saying hello. And I will see y'all for the next review. Love and light to you all. Au revoir.